Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Thursday night, 10:15 p.m. Eastern, just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Joining me for another episode of Fandom Empire Now is the guy I've kept up just a little too late because we're starting way late, and it'll be a shorter episode. It's Mike Bish. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. It's good. You have a perfectly logical excuse. You went and saw a great movie. Totally worth it, right? Totally worth it. But no, I'm making it, man. It's my sinuses are kicking my ass. So if I sound like shit, I apologize to everybody. But yeah, man, I'm ready to roll, get into the show, talk some Midnight Mass, see what your overall opinion was on the new Bond movie.
I don't know where to begin because we're going to talk. So Bond's going to be no spoilers. Midnight Mass is going to be full spoilers. And then Halloween Kills, I have some advice for some fans as we go on here. It won't be a long episode. But,
stay off the internet.
Yeah, I've been pretty quiet on Halloween Kills the last week or so. And
me too.
Reason, right? But apparently a lot of other people didn't get the memo. So why don't we start with Midnight Mass and then we'll get into Bond. And actually, you know what? Let's start with Bond.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
If you have any questions, feel free to fire away. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. So I just seen No Time to Die. I'm a big fan of Daniel Craig's James Bond movies. And for me anyways, this one clocks in at almost 3 hours long. It's fucking incredible. It's brilliant. This is a movie that's been delayed for about 2 years. So I had super high expectations going in. And I can confidently say, although recency bias is a thing, and I'm literally like an hour ago, the movie was still playing for me. So I thought it was fantastic, and it's either right there with Skyfall or a little better. It's a long movie, so it's a slow burn. There's high stakes. It's great. Hans Zimmer's score is fantastic. The visuals are mind-blowing. I could not get a ticket to the IMAX screening, which sucks because if there's a movie to see in IMAX, it's those Bond movies, especially this one. It was brilliant. I fucking loved it, man.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. And it's good that you walked away with that overall view on the movie, because I know for me at least, when I go into a movie with high expectations, like I know you said they were out of the roof for this movie, usually I get let down just because my expectations are so high. Doesn't mean the movie's bad, doesn't mean the movie's trash. It's just my expectations going into the film is so damn high, like it was for Halloween 2018 for me. I walked out a little disappointed. Not saying that the film sucked. The film is a good movie. It's a great movie. It's just my expectations were so high. I walked out with a little bit of disappointment in some areas. But listen, man, it's good that I can tell you it's good that you walked out of there with that feeling. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not comparing Halloween movies to Bond movies because that's not really a fair comparison in terms of quality of movie, but in terms of like my favorite movies I've seen to date this year, um, it's probably, and some people might not think this is a movie. I do. Bo Burnham's Inside, which was on Netflix and released in theaters up here as well.
Hmm.
I don't know if it did down there or not. And No Time to Die. Like I don't know if Halloween Kills is going to touch either one of those. But I'm still excited for it, and we'll get to Halloween Kill stuff later. But Bond, No Time to Die, it's in theaters everywhere. If you have an opportunity to see it in IMAX, I would go with IMAX because you can tell that a lot of this film was shot for IMAX. So that was like my only downer experience of the movie. It was like, oh, I wish I was seeing this on some giant fucking crystal clear IMAX screen.
What so after walking out of there, I know you're fresh, literally not even an hour out of the movie. What's your quick analysis as far as giving this movie a score?
Oh, tough. So I hold the right to change my score a week or two.
For sure, absolutely.
But I'd give it like a 9, a solid 9 out of 10. As like a movie in general, as a Bond film, it might be the best one yet. So
nice.
It's good stuff. But there's other things that have been coming out recently, and it's been out for I think 2 weeks now. Midnight Mass, Mike Flanagan's Midnight Mass made its debut on Netflix. By the way, if you're tuning in right now, this is not going to be a long show. We're already at 10:20 now. Top of the hour is as long as we're going, so it's a short show. Mike, just thoughts on Midnight Mass. I've seen it now. We can dive into whatever you want, man.
Yeah, so for me, I thought it was just very well done. I thought that I had mentioned before in our non-spoilers that I thought it started off a little slow for my taste.
Yep.
And then to me it picked up. I know me and you kind of have different views on feelings of how it ended. I know you said you ended up still liking it. But for me, I thought that it did get a little better towards the end. And overall, I just like what Mike Flanagan did with this. And I'll tell you what, I love the internet. Sean, I don't know if you have had the time to see this movie on Netflix, but there's a movie on Netflix with one of the actresses, the main actress in this. I think her name is, what's her name? Catherine. Is it Katie? Catherine?
Kate Segal, I think.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. Because the name is just slipping my mind right now.
One who was pregnant, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Kate Segal.
So she's in a movie on Netflix. It's actually called Hush. I don't know if you've seen that. Basically,
I have not yet, but I know who made that movie.
It is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Is that his love letter movie to Halloween? I know he made one, but I could never remember what the title was to it.
I want to say yes, in a sense, but it's very good. Basically, she is at her house. She's deaf, deaf, and there's this intruder that really just fucks with her head. Finds out that she's deaf and kind of takes advantage of that. And I'm not going to spoil the movie for anybody who sees it, but that's the basis of it. But I'm only bringing that up because at the beginning, I'm going to spoil this for you, Sean, because I thought it was a great tidbit. It's not a main spoiler, but her friend at the beginning of that movie brings her a book to read. And that book is titled Midnight Mass. I never noticed it, never put 2 and 2 together, but you gotta love the fucking internet for pulling stuff up like that. I don't even know how people remember stuff like that, to be honest with you, but I just thought that was I just like little tidbits like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, I like Midnight Mass. I gave it 8 out of 10, 8.5, I think, out of 10. I just thought it was very well done. I just like the way Mike Flanagan tells his stories. I like the way his shots are done. I like everything about what he does. And honestly, I knew the whole Midnight Mass was kind of put to rest. I don't think they're going to go anywhere further with that. But I knew that Netflix was not done with Mike Flanagan, and they're not, as they're,
and they shouldn't be. They should.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've hit on everything. Mike has hit on everything. So they're not done with him. I know they picked up something a new series that's coming to Netflix. You can read about that.
I did.
So yeah, for me, I really enjoyed Midnight Mass. I didn't think it was going to end the way that it did, but then again, I don't want to say I'm shocked. I would say that's just
We'll
karma.
dive into that. Yeah, we'll dive into that
Yeah.
soon.
But what about you? Your overall thoughts? I know you messaged me and you kind of said that it kind of went the opposite way for you. Not saying that you didn't like it. It's just as far as build up compared to how it flared out into the end.
I was just telling Jade on her drive home that I think maybe I was too harsh on the ending.
She watched it with you, correct?
Yep. Yep,
Okay.
she did. Even she had some issues with the ending, though. I still have issues with it for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Mike Flanagan understands how to build. There are movies that don't really build the story and they throw the story at you. And then there is building the story and slowly opening up doors, which lead to other rooms, which lead to other closets. And I think Flanagan finds a way to do that brilliantly in almost everything he does, including Midnight Mass. So like in general, I really enjoyed this series, but I'm still of the opinion that I know a lot of people I've seen they prefer episodes like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
Where
which is me, to be honest.
I prefer 1 through 5, to be honest. I think the story builds much better through then.
I get that.
I kinda thought the outcome was predictable. That's the one thing that I would say that surprised me. Flanagan's usually pretty good at being unpredictable, and, I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation, but my
Yeah.
interpretation of it, and I'm curious to hear your take on it, is, like, obviously, it's a very biblical setting, a very church setting in this, and we're supposed to believe that, this creature is an angel, and for me, I left that series going, "No," and this is not a knock on anybody who has any personal beliefs. I keep mine to myself. I certainly have them. But we are entering some touchy territory that might offend some people. Just understand we're talking about the context of the show and not real life. Um, I thought basically they let you know that, yeah, a bunch of religious people, people of faith, obviously misread signs. This creature was obviously not biblical whatsoever. Jade compared it to like a vampire. Um, and they paid for it in the end. Like they all died
Yeah.
for the most part anyway, because they thought it was something it was not. And then even her, Kate Segal that you mentioned,
Yeah.
her bit at the end there, her monologue at the end, which was
Mhm.
a nod to how Riley died. Again, we're talking spoilers. We said that right off the top, though. I thought was another way of Flanagan saying, "Yeah, these people all thought that this thing was an angel, and they were wrong, and now they're all dead because of it."
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I walked away with the same feeling. And I like I said, I did think what was coming was predictable. The ending, I agree with you on that. I didn't think the two that survived would be the two to survive. I mean, I thought one main character would survive, but that's just not the way it rolled, which is fine. I think you got to have something like that at the end of a series like this, where everybody died. I don't mind the two that survived being the ones that survived. I don't know if that's bothered you at all. I know I've seen some people complaining that they're not really any main characters, and I don't know, people just nitpick at every little thing, and I do sometimes too, so I don't want to come down too hard on them.
When we're talking about fates, I think the one that bothered me, and I get it, he had to die to really set up the ending of the story, was Riley.
Me
Is
too.
I definitely lost, I wouldn't say interest, but like I lost my player, you could say. He was my guy, and
Yep, same
um,
here.
and I can't remember the characters. It was a Joe, the guy Robert
It was
Longstreet
Joe.
played.
It was Joe.
So like to lose both of those guys, and really before mostly everybody else, it was It was tough.
I think that was a shocking part too, which I guess is I didn't like it, but I guess another brilliant move by Mike Flanagan of how early that person, how early Riley died. Joe too, but Riley, being the main guy, being your guy, he was my guy. He's the one that I connected with and really wanted to see how far or what the ending was going to be like for him. And like you said, I understand why he had to die. It set up the ending to be the way that it was. I just thought that he died fairly early, to be honest with you. So
I thought the actor who played him, his name is Zach Gilford, I believe. I might be wrong on that. I think it's Zach Gilford. I thought he was incredible. I thought he had great range. I loved the suspense of the show. But again, it was really hard for me to stay as invested when Riley went. I guess I kept expecting, like, okay, maybe it will be like a biblical thing and Riley will be the one to come back to save them from the crazy priest or pastor. But to be clear, like, I did not see the twist in his story coming.
Oh,
Like,
neither did I. Neither did I. Yeah. I agree, and I guess we can both agree. I said this on the last episode I was on where we talked Midnight Mass that fuck Beverly Keene. Fuck her.
I mean, she really fucked all them though. At the end,
I mean, that's true. That's just from the jump. I just could not stand her, and that didn't change at all throughout the show.
I was gonna say I really wanted to see someone get her, and I mean, I guess we kind of did, but she came back. But then they made up for it at the end, where she's like, she waits to the last second to try to dig a hole. I will say this: I find it. I get it. There was like a little less than 100 people on that island or whatever. I find it really hard to suspend my belief, especially when the story, like, it plays out very biblical, and then at the end we find out that it's not. It's more like sci-fi, or thriller or whatever, with elements of horror for sure. But it's like, you mean to tell me not one basement stayed intact out of all those houses? You mean to tell me they had all night to put out a fire at one of those houses or try to get it under control? Like, did they all really need to walk out into the sunlight and die? That was the one area where I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about the 7 episodes? Do you think it was just right, a little too short, a little too long? How do you feel about 7 episodes?
I think they could have done 10 and spread out what happens in the last 2 episodes a little better. The last 2 episodes, while a lot happens, it feels very rushed.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although I don't want to say I was critical, but that was my one knock of it being kind of slow for the build up. But then again, that's like you said, that's what Mike Flanagan is known for. And just because it was slow doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I want to make that clear. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it a lot. I gave the series or the limited series 8.5 out of 10. I thought that's great. Now, Rotten Tomatoes has it sitting at 91%. I don't really always look at Rotten Tomatoes, but how do you feel about that being at 91%, Sean? You think that's fair? Audience score is around 75%.
I think if I leave like my personal desires from the movie out of it, like, and don't judge it as, hey, what do I think of this as like a favorite series or something, and just looked at it for like filming technique, story, acting, etc. The acting's fucking brilliant in this series.
It is, and I think I said last episode, they cast very well for everybody. There's not one character that I thought was out of their bag or out of their lane and didn't hold that character that they were playing to what it was supposed to be. I thought everybody was cast brilliantly.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fantastic. I'd agree with that. I think, the series is probably, for me personally, an 8 out of 10, probably 8.5 out of 10.
It's pretty much the same score,
which is still a good score, right? So
yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, honestly, I think anything above a 7.5 is a good, to you know what I mean, at least a good solid score.
I have to ask you what you thought of Father Paul throughout the entire series and the performance, the actor who I just looked up his name. I think it's Hamish Linklater. I've never heard of him, but I thought the performance was brilliant.
Oh, so did I. I thought, yeah, man. I thought, honestly, probably my favorite performance. Obviously, I would say maybe outside of Kate Siegel, I would say that Father Paul had really the the most dramatic scenes, and he hit on every scene, in my opinion. Like I said, I thought everybody in this cast hit on their scene. But when it came to Father Paul, I thought everything that he did was believable to me. Everything that he did set very well with me. Yeah, man. I'm looking at his name now. Never heard of him either, but yeah, man. I thought that his role in this series really, outside of Riley for the first 5 episodes, if it wasn't for Father Paul, I don't know where this series would be. Not saying that it would be trash, but he carried this series, and he did a great job with his performance. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I thought he was brilliant. One of the scenes I liked the most with him, and I don't know if it was intended to come off comedic, but when Riley walks into the community center there, and Paul and the friggin' creature thing are in there, like Paul's reaction to Riley walking in and seeing the angel before the angel or whatever it is actually attacks him was just like it almost like comedic gold there for a second. Like, oh,
okay, yeah.
I
mean, so when Riley walked in there, did you think that that's when he was going to get attacked? Like, did you think that something was going to happen as far as him not getting attacked? Because for me, one, I knew exactly what, I don't want to say exactly, but I know that he would have gone down a bad path if he would have got attacked. And that was only what, episode 4, the ending of 4, right at 5. So that was pretty early. So I was like, I think something's going to happen to where he's not going to get attacked or hurt right here. But no, they went for it, which ultimately led to his early death. But in that scene, I didn't. At first, I thought something was going to happen to where he wouldn't get.
I didn't think it would happen that early. I'm still not sure I'm the biggest fan of it, but again, the father's reaction to it was just fucking hysterical. Like, oh my god, it was so good. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the series, and I'm looking forward to what Flanagan does next. I did read about it. It's going to be a limited series. I think he's directing half and someone else is directing half, but they're both creating it. And that it takes place in the 1800s, I believe I read. So it's Mike Flanagan, man. I'm totally.
What is it? A Edgar Allan Poe story, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Mike Flanagan's gonna do a good job with it. I mean, he hasn't given us any reason to doubt him yet, so I can't wait to see where that goes. Now, Sean, I don't know. Did you watch The Haunting of Hill House?
I've not, and I've not seen what is it, The Haunting of Bly Manor or whatever the heck.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called.
I thought Bly Manor was pretty good, but
I need to watch both of those, and I'm thrilled that I have a chance to. They're both series, right?
Yeah, Haunting of Hill House is really good.
I can't wait to dive into them. I'm basically on a Mike Flanagan kick. Like, again, I know I've said it on this channel before, but like if I'm any of the major players in horror right now, why aren't you knocking on his door? At the same time, though, I think he's done so well. I get it. Dr. Sleep failed financially, which was unfortunate, but I think the movie itself is brilliant. It was terribly marketed. I think he's at a point where he gets to kind of choose his projects now. I'm not saying he's Chris Nolan. He's not going to be going making demands like that, but I do think he can be a bit picky about what he wants to do now and just focus on what he wants to do.
Which is perfectly fine. And I can tell you that as long as he keeps having success with Netflix, he's going to stay with them or keep working with them.
Yeah, I hope to see some of his stuff on the big screen, though. There's something.
Oh, yeah, no, I think so, too. I'm talking about as far as other streaming services. I don't think Netflix is going to – I don't think they're going to fumble the bag with Mike Flanagan. I think they're going to try to keep him under wraps as far as the whole streaming thing with them as much as possible.
So we put this out there on Patreon not too long ago, but and then which is hilarious, Tommy B messaged me about this. is we put out that there was something else Halloween coming, and it would be to Peacock more than likely. It wasn't close. It's probably far away, and then you start to see all this talk about more stuff after Halloween ends. Although not a lot of people saying exactly what. One of the things that we've heard is that there's at least talks of a Halloween series. That kind of worries me, but I also
Yeah.
kind of love the idea of it. I love the idea of going and doing something with Season of the Witch, but to my understanding, that is not something Jason Blum has any interest in being a part of. He has basically all but ruled out Season of the Witch. So my guess is it would still be Michael Myers centric. I'll say this though, like if you're looking for a showrunner for that to do something different, but someone who loves and understands Halloween, go get Mike Flanagan. Let him do his own little series.
I agree. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I've been so busy today. I haven't been really been online or anything, but I was scrolling through YouTube when I had a minute to sit down, and I want to say I saw Wolfman Got Nards uploaded a video about more Halloween after it ends, and I hadn't had time to watch it, so I didn't know exactly what that entailed. But now you're telling me all this stuff is starting to kind of poke out there, kind of leak in a sense, not details as far as major details. Obviously it's going to come after ends if anything happens. But yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That slipped my mind, so I'm glad you brought that up. But I haven't heard it. I haven't been able to watch that video to see what he said or kind of what been able to talk to you. I know you've been busy today, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Barry's a good guy. He wouldn't throw shit hoping it sticks against a wall. So, and neither do we. So that doesn't mean something's imminent. I don't think anything's imminent. I don't think you would see anything before the year 2023.
I know you had the throw up emoji for the Chucky series, so I know you're ready for that, right?
I just have seen nothing in the trailers that give me any hope this is going to be any good. The network fucking scares the shit out of me. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
There's not much of a track record there. If they would have ended up on, I'm not saying they would have, but like, HBO obviously would have been insane. But like,
I can tell you, I mean, they're trying to make it as good as possible, bringing back the original voice of Chucky and bringing back Andy and Tiffany, and they're going all out to try to make this series work. And I kind of have my worries as well. I'm going to give it a shot just to see what it's like. But I can tell you, I don't know. I like the first two Child's Play movies. Never were scared of them. I just thought they were solid films. But something ever since I don't know who voices Chucky. Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? He played Sheriff Brackett in Zombies.
Oh, you're right. Yep, that's the connection.
His name is slipping my mind here.
Anyways, I just felt like ever since he stepped away from playing Chucky, outside of it's just really gone to shit. You know what I mean? Outside of those first two films, and I can even watch the third film for one of my guilty pleasures. But outside of those, man, it's been nothing but trash. Been nothing but straight shit. So I'll check the series out an episode or two and see if it grabs my attention. But I don't know how gory sci-fi gets, to be honest with you. I don't watch anything on sci-fi. So I guess that's my big concern. I want to see the gore. I will
reserve expectations then.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see if you're going to bring back Chucky from the first two, bring back that gore, bring back what made Chucky. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, I do want to bring this up. I don't know if Frank Riker is in the house, but
I haven't seen it.
You would not believe what I'm going to go see in theaters on Sunday. You want to take a wild guess?
Well, I would hope Scream 2, but I'm guessing Scream 1.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Scream 1. They're showing it here at the theater, our local theater, for $4.50. I'm not doing anything Sunday. I was like, let's go see what this is like on the big screen. So that's what my Sunday is entailing, and I just wanted to share that information with Frank because it's happening all over in certain theaters. If he had the opportunity to see it, I don't want him to miss out on that. So
not my theater. My theater's a fucking joke, but that's a story for another day.
well, shouldn't there be a screen trailer coming within the next week? I mean, that's what I keep hearing. I don't know how much you've done into it.
Was Monday.
Okay.
I think it might be Monday.
What is that?
When's the screen thing? Isn't that Monday? Or is that tomorrow? They have some big anniversary event, and it's supposed to debut with that, and they'll probably put it out online, I would think.
It's either tomorrow or next week.
So I know it's supposed to drop before Halloween Kills. Whether that means it drops to all the public or just select people remains to be seen. But
yeah, I mean, do you think it's too early to drop a trailer for them, or you think it's the perfect time?
Oh, no, it's way late for them to be dropping a trailer, and I love that they've done it that way.
I think so too, to be honest.
So
yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, as of right now, it is. So if they're just following the marketing plan as it goes. So.
Oh, I mean, look at what Venom did. Venom fucking blew away expectations, and I suspect No Time to Die will do the same. I even think Halloween Kills might make a little more than what people were thinking, but people that think that Halloween Kills is going to make Venom money is just, you're out of your mind. Venom, you have to see in theaters. Halloween Kills, you have the option to see at home.
Let me ask you this. Do you think there's a chance at all that Scream rivals Halloween Kills in the box office?
Yes.
Okay. I agree too. Obviously, I think the superior franchise is Halloween, but I'm just thinking outside of not only because you got to think, even though people don't really are into Scream, they're intrigued by this movie. So your horror fan movies are probably going to go see it. But Ghostface is an icon, just like Michael Myers is. You're going to drag in those regular moviegoers as well. So that's why I think it's going to be able to compete with Halloween Kills in the box office.
Yeah, I'd still give Kills the edge.
Me too.
You know what? I don't know if I would. Peacock definitely cost them some money.
Do you think Scream is going to stick strictly to theaters?
I've heard nothing different to this point. However, it is a Paramount film. So Paramount Plus that doesn't have a bunch of stuff on it at the moment.
I mean, that's true. I
mean, candidate for that.
And I mean, obviously, they can wait till literally a few weeks away to announce that it's coming to a streaming service too. So,
yeah, I want to dive into the chat here before we finish things off with some Halloween Kills talk. Although some of this might be Halloween Kills talk, we'll see. Melissa says they should make another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They have. It's already made. I believe it was Netflix that got it, or was it Amazon?
It was Netflix.
Netflix.
I've not heard anything about a release date. Not even nothing.
From what I understand, the film, and it's unfortunate because I had a lot of hype for it, but it sounds like the film's very messy, and they're going to take their time deciding what to do. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Texas Chainsaw Massacre until fall of 2022.
Yeah, that's a big
possibility. Even summer. So, apparently we look like we're in the same room. She also said she wants to see Dune and the new Bond movie. Dune, I've heard nothing but incredible things about. I can't wait to see that. And as I said off the top, No Time to Die was brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
What did that comment you brought up say?
Which one?
Michael. It's how someone said Michael P.A.
Oh, they said that.
I don't live in PA. I live in VA.
Yeah, it said that we looked like we were in the same room, even though we don't live close.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's cool. Never floats their boat. What else do we have here? We'll stick with that. So let's touch on this Halloween Kill stuff before we go off air. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat now. If you want to support the channel, feel free to head on over to Patreon, sign up, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Number one way you can support the channel, or you can send in a super chat. And the easiest way to support the channel, though, is just click the like button, hit subscribe. And if you have people that you think might enjoy it, Drops them a line.
No spoilers though. So I can tell you, I don't know where you're going with this, but I want to say this since we're on Halloween Kills. I've done a very good job of not watching interviews, not watching any clips. I'm waiting for this next week to pass without watching any of that. I don't want any more spoilers. I got plenty. I don't need any more. I was on YouTube today, like I said, and I saw that Jamie Lee Curtis and oh my God, Judy Greer were sitting down breaking down a scene from Halloween Kills. Now it's probably a scene that is not really big, doesn't even matter, but I didn't even bother fucking clicking on it. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see none of that. I think it's I don't know. I just think being a week out is still way too early to do stuff like that. I know they're out doing interviews and things like that, but live look-ins and breaking down scenes already, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, there's no need to be breaking down scenes, but again, that's how they've marketed this movie, and it's too much. It's way too much. I will say this: if you're getting spoiled now, like in terms of like actually seeing video clips, it's probably your own fault for clicking on it. I understand you run into stuff on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere on social media for sure. But if you're seeing actual video of stuff, you're choosing to watch it.
Yeah.
I literally made a judgment call, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago that we would still continue to cover Halloween Kills. We're going to talk so much Halloween next week. It's going to be nuts. We have a trivia contest. It's going to be a bunch of fun. But I just I got to a point where it's like I'm watching people argue and this person's saying this and that person's saying that. And like I'm seeing more come out, like to the point where it's like you don't need to do this much. And it's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm taking a step back and I'm going to let the film come. And I just want to enjoy it. And if I can offer anybody any advice, is let's just stop pointing fingers at everybody and let's stop worrying about what person A, B, or C is going to think of the movie and just go and enjoy the movie. This movie got delayed for a year. The fan base was devastated. I remember we were doing live streams at that time. There were some people like really affected that this movie was delayed for that long. You've waited this long. Doesn't mean you have to like the movie. I'm not one of those people that says you have to like something. If you don't like it, that's fine. But stop with the, not necessarily the speculation, but you don't need to deep dive. You don't have to look at every image that comes out. You don't have to listen to every YouTuber, podcaster, fucking TikTok, whatever. Just at this point, you got less than a week from now. Actually, 1 week.
You can do it.
1 week and 8 minutes from now, we will be on air giving a instant reaction spoiler review of this film. And it's like, go and enjoy the movie. You've waited this long for the movie. And while you might not enjoy what happens in the movie, maybe it's not for you, enjoy the experience of at least going to see the movie. That's what it's about now. It's not about fucking scores and what everybody's saying in this scene or that scene. Go enjoy the experience. You've waited 3 fucking years for this.
I can tell you what. I've heard many mixed reviews about this movie, but it's not taken away from my excitement for this movie. I'm very excited to see this movie. I think it's going to be right up my alley. A good friend of mine was at the Halloween Kills US premiere this weekend, and I messaged him and I said, I'm not going to ask any spoiler questions, but this is somebody I respect a lot. And I asked him, I said, what's your honest score, or what's your honest opinion, 1 out of 10 of Halloween Kills? And he said a 6 out of 10. That didn't affect me.
No, it shouldn't.
At all. He said there were parts that he really liked, but overall he felt like it was very uneven. I hope that's not the case. But his opinion of it is not going to affect my opinion of it. And other people's opinions on what you read on the internet or what I talk about or Sean talks about shouldn't affect your opinion at all on it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's people, that aren't fans of, I don't know, that aren't fans of Scream. I'm a big Scream guy. Sean's not the biggest H2O fan. I love H2O. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. Like what you like. You don't have to get in arguments about things. And I understand if somebody tries to spoil something for you, but these little nitpick arguments that Sean's talking about that everybody's seeing, relax. We're right here in a week. It's here.
Yeah, like stop worrying about everything. Don't check your phone every 2 seconds. The movie that you've waited for a long time is almost here. Whatever it ends up being, enjoy the experience of going to see it.
And I'm a big Halloween guy. I really want to sit down and watch these interviews with Anthony Michael Hall and Jamie Lee Curtis and Judy Greer, but I'm just not gonna do it until after I see the movie. I'm gonna go back and watch them. It's just I don't want any type of spoilers at all. I will say that my friend that I talked to that saw the movie, even though he gave it a 6 out of 10, he said his favorite part was the flashback. He thought they did 10 out of 10 on that. No, I didn't ask him any details of what happens or anything like that because I'm staying spoiler free. But he said they hit that out the park, and he said that the kills in this film were absolutely phenomenal. So, like I said, that's all I asked. That's all I wanted. I wanted to get his opinion on it. But like I said, his opinion doesn't affect my opinion. Doesn't put me in a funk that he gave it a lower score than what I anticipated it to be. It doesn't affect me, and none of that stuff should affect you. You need to go into this movie, any movie, with an open mind, because if you let other people's opinions affect you, you're going to go in there not to enjoy the movie, but to nitpick the movie.
Yeah, no, just watch the movie for what it is. However it ends up turning out, just enjoy watching it. I know people that will go see a movie in movie theaters and still check their phone every fucking 5 minutes.
What?
And it just drives me fucking insane. It's like, for that time, unless it's an emergency, block out the world and watch the movie. I didn't look at my phone one time after No Time to Die started. Not one time.
I never look at my phone when I'm in the movies. And to be honest with you, I don't go to movies where people do look at their phones. I have an iPhone, so I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I have it set up. I know everybody doesn't, but I have it set up to where I get, especially with the new iOS update, it really does not disturb. I get no notifications. The only time I have it set up to where if somebody calls me back to back, it'll come through because that's something's going on or in case of an emergency. But outside of that, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. I never pull it out. None of that. Not even during the previews, to be honest with you. So that's kind of irritating. I don't like that at all.
I'm totally with you. It drives me nuts. We're gonna begin to wind things down here, man. Any final thoughts on anything at all before we get ready to wrap up?
Well, I know the watch along is Sunday.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to this next week, really, man. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. We got a good horror suspense series from Midnight Mass. Whether you're looking forward to it or not, the Chucky series is coming up. The Scream anniversary is here. It's coming up. I mean, all kinds of horror. We're getting Halloween Kills. It just feels great for all this to be happening right now, and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Just sit back and enjoy it. That's all. Calm and collectively.
Isaiah sends in a $2 super chat. Do you think they're releasing Halloween clips too soon? I think we already answered that, but yeah, I mean, we said a few weeks ago clips were coming. I knew of one for sure, but now I know there's a few of them out there, and some of them, 3 minutes long.
Ooh.
They're showing way too much of this movie. I don't know if they're all hands in at this point. Their cards are in the middle of the table. It's like, well, whatever. It's going to Peacock anyway, so let's show off a little more than we normally would. Yeah, if you're spoilers don't matter to me. They do to Mike. I understand Mike's situation. But if you're avoiding spoilers, just tune out of the marketing now. You got another week. Don't ruin it for yourself. But yeah, no, for me, it's just a matter of preserving what all the visuals look like and the tones and the lighting and actors' performances. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. I can't wait for that. But like, you don't need to see anything else before that. The movie's
Yeah,
coming. It's here.
yeah. I mean, my biggest mistake was um, watching a video that had a good shot of Michael Myers in the flashback scene. You know, I kind of wanted to wait to see that, but that was my own mistake. So I'm not upset. I still don't know what happens in the flashback scene, so I still have that piece. And I hear nothing but great things about the flashback scene. But I can tell you from, and no spoilers, but like from what I've seen from the flashback scene, the mask, man, Sean, they hit on that, man. I don't know if I had a chance to tell you that, but it looks
Yeah.
great.
No, it does.
That is, you want to talk about, I'm gonna have goosebumps. I can tell you that. I just can't wait for this film. Everything that I hear is right up my alley. It's gonna be, from what I hear, it's fast paced. It's gonna be brutal, and that's what I like my Halloween movies to be. I know the first movie isn't like that. The classic movie isn't like that. But I love a brutal, pissed off Michael Myers, and that's exactly what we're getting in this film.
I will say this: like, people really should just be staying offline. It hasn't spread like wildfire yet, but I can tell you there's like a almost 7-minute clip of the movie out. Someone obviously got video from the premiere. It's shitty quality. I did not watch any of it. I seen a couple of screen grabs. That was it. Um, if that's out there, there's other stuff out there. And at this point, like, just stay off. Don't necessarily stay off, but anything Halloween related, stay away from. You know, one
Yeah,
more week, you can do it.
yeah, I have not clicked on a single thing. I want to, but we're a week away. I can wait a week. So can you.
Damn straight. I still need to see Venom. Still need to see Dune when it comes out. Exciting time to be a fan of the big screen or the small screen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Um,
lot of TV shows coming out in the latter part of the year as well. You is going to be here.
Use here
Co-
next week, actually.
yeah, I was about to say Cobra Kai is coming at the end of the year. You got a whole bunch of shows that, along with it's just a good time to be in the film industry right now. If you're, you're getting a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Anyways, that's going to do it for us this evening. Apologies for being late, but no time to
Don't
dive.
apologize. Don't apologize.
Mike, where can everybody find you at, man?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at @MichaelBish_ and on Instagram at @MBish_.
You can check us out at Fandom Empire Now on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/Fandom Empire if you want to support us over there. And then we're the Fandom Empire Den, Halloween Fandom, Halloween Newsnet, Fandom Empire, all over on Facebook as well. I think Johnny, if you're not doing anything right now, Johnny's over on his Twitch playing Far Cry 6 right now. So if you're bored, you can check him out over there and watch him playing his video games. And also, last but not least, lots of Star Wars stuff out this week. Kenobi, everyone's so fucking hyped for it. Sounds like it might debut May the 4th. We're going to have more on that, not next week, but the week after. Halloween Kills Week's almost here. We'll see y'all, or those of you that are on Patreon, for our Halloween 2018 watch along on Lambkin Lane this Sunday night. For Mike and everybody else at Fandom Empire, have a good fucking night.